Hi there. My name's John, and I'm the producer of the Dani Johnson Show. Not too long ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was telling me how she's broke. She was telling me how she's struggling financially, and she's a single mom, and everything, like she's living for her child. She's an incredible artist, incredibly gifted, talented, skilled person, and she's dying a little bit inside because she's not growing anywhere. This is like, we talk to people like this every day at Destiny Global, and we're here to help those people. People like you. Maybe you can identify. What we're going to do is this week on the Dani Johnson Show, the whole week, we're going to replay episodes about debt, about paying off your debt, about managing your little bit of finances better so that they grow, and just about having financial vision. And we want to give you hope, and we want to give you some digestible little pieces of direction to help you move forward. I hope these shows help you the way they've helped us and thousands of other people. And thanks for watching. All right, bye-bye.
She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Do you know what a tax refund is? You're like, really, Dani? That is like the dumbest question ever. Of course I know what a tax refund is. No, but do you really know what a tax refund is? We're going to kind of talk about your tax refund today. And maybe you might grab a little pieces of wisdom. You might be able to get ahead after today's program. Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. This is the show where every single day we challenge you and encourage you on to living the true life of success. Not the predefined definition of success that pretty much says you will have toxic relationships. You're going to sacrifice your health. You're going to sacrifice your fun for the big house, the 2 new expensive cars, the expensive clothing that you're trying to impress everybody with, and yet you're going to be miserable on the inside, even driving that nice Mercedes-Benz down the street. No, here at DaniJohnson.com and on the Dani Johnson Show, we present to you the opportunity for you to define success for you. You see, some people, success for them looks very different than maybe it is for you. For some, it's being a mom and having a harmonious relationship with their spouse or having a harmonious relationship with their kids. I got to tell you about harmony right now. Man, I found this little river that I've been riding in lately. I homeschool my kids. In fact, all 5 of our kids have been homeschooled at one point in their career. All 5 of them, 3 of them have already graduated as homeschool students. I've got one graduating this year in May, and then I'll have another one graduating in December. All of these guys have graduated a year or more ahead. So that's exciting. And so sometimes when you can find that nice little river of, like today, yesterday, oh gosh, the level of success that I have felt in just counting how many more hours that we actually have left of school. My son is going to graduate in a week. Like, not graduate, he's going to finish his sophomore year in 1 week. I'm like, yes. See, that's success. And they're like, oh. And then we calculate he only has 4 classes left to graduate completely. We'll get that done by December. No problem, right? So I'm like, see, to me, that's success. We are not fighting. We're not arguing. Oh, we've had plenty of that in the past. But I'm just saying that, man, that is something that for you, if you're a mom like myself or a dad, a parent, and you're in charge of educating your children, then, you feel so good when you are finishing up a school year. You feel good about, following through with a plan and that everyone's working together. You see what I'm saying? So success for some is different than others. For me, man, I'm feeling really good about this accomplishment right now. You have no idea. I'm almost done with my kids and homeschool all together. Literally, I am months away. I am months away from accomplishing that very long. Come on, my oldest daughter is 28 years old. Okay, so we're talking about a long life of kids in school or being homeschooled. Long time. Very long time. So anyway, so success, what is it for you? Well, right now you have the opportunity to be really wise and make a really good, successful decision with that tax refund that you are getting, or maybe that you've already gotten. Maybe it's in your mailbox, okay? And maybe you're not getting one, but you can still apply these successful financial tips that you're going to get and you're going to hear today. Because today you're going to spend money. You are. You absolutely are. Whether it's going to the grocery store, whether it's driving to the store, you're spending money on gasoline. No, I already got the gas in my car. No, the gas is like a bank account. You put the money in and you're going to spend that money today by driving that vehicle. Okay? You might be spending money on food today, eating out today, or Starbucks, or whatever the other habits are that you might have. So we want to bring to you today wise choices that you can make financially, so that you can take pressure off yourself, so you can feel better about yourself. Really, come on, you do not want to end up like so many that I have seen. Oh my gosh, even as most recently, people I've known for a really, really, really long time and have heard the war on debt message, have heard the prospering where you're planted message. They have heard the be faithful with the little things message, and they have chosen to deafen their ears for 2 decades. And now, here they are, very, very older in life, broke. That can't be you. That can't be you. So don't listen today with deaf ears. Don't listen today with these ears that say, oh, that really doesn't apply to me right now. We're doing pretty good. Things can turn like that on a dime. You want to make sure and be wise, be prudent. Make choices today. They're going to help you succeed. Not only succeed now, but succeed in the long run. You do not want to be in your 70s or 80s or even 60s worrying about money, do you? No, you don't. So I don't care if you're 14 listening to today's show, or if you're 44 or you're 84. You can make better choices starting today that's going to make you feel more successful, that's going to result in the fruit of success, that is going to encourage other people to live the life that you're making the choice to live. Okay, so here's the question I have for you. Have you already gotten your tax refund? Where are you? What are you going to do with the money? Where are you going to put it? Have you already spent the money? Do you have the money spent already in your head? Like you've been planning. I know a lot of people do that. I know I used to do that. You get in this tax return, you're like, oh, I can't wait to get that money. But let's analyze this. Okay, what is a tax refund? Okay, what is it? Well, first of all, refund tells you something. It's your own money. It's actually your hard-earned dollars that you earned throughout the whole year of last year. And a certain part was taken out of every check, sent to the government, and now they're going to refund you your savings account. After, of course, they made a bunch of money on your savings account. So sweet of them. And you think they might share some of the interest that they made, or whatever it was that they did with your tax refund, or whatever investments they might have made with that money? No, they're not going to share they're not going to share the profits on making money off of your money. They're going to keep that. Nonetheless, they basically had a little savings account for you, and that money is your money. You worked hard for that money all of last year. So now listen to me carefully. If it's your money, you get to be in control of what you do with it. I got to read you this quote. It's by Ayn Rand. She's an old author, wrote some pretty profound books. But here's a quote from her. She says, money is only a tool. It will take you wherever you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. One of the things that I see, that I saw in myself in my early years, obviously my first 10 years of making millions, we spent it all. We spent it all like idiots, okay? That has not happened in the last decade of making millions. We're keeping it. We're being wise. We're not expanding our lifestyle as our income has increased. We have kept our lifestyle, especially our monthly outgo, really, really, really small. And so therefore we save more, obviously, than what we spend. Obviously, meaning I feed my family on less than $100 a week. In fact, $36 for groceries for the last 2 weeks. Total, meaning $36 bought groceries for 2 weeks. So we're down to a couple $100 a month at this point because there's only 4 of us in the house. And of course, I always have extras, for holidays or whatever, every Friday night for Shabbat, whatever. Anyway, I love her quote because this is something that I find when it comes to finances. And it is this: there seems to be this hidden mindset and belief that success means you get to do nothing. Yeah, there's some that have this definition that if I'm successful financially, that means I don't have to work. Let me tell you something, friend. First of all, studies have shown that after people have retired, they die. Like within a couple of years after they no longer are productive, majority of them end up kicking the bucket. And they never got through their bucket list because they're no longer productive. Okay, so what is it that has filtered itself into our heads that says, gosh, I had this in my head. My first business I started when I was 19, I had it put into my head that, I'm going to retire young, and I did. I retired first time at 23, 24 years old. Bored stiff, came out of retirement. Retired again at 30, I did this many times. And I don't recommend it. You end up spending more than what your residual income is or whatever your investment income is. And you end up kind of getting yourself in trouble somehow, even financially, because things do dry up. But I love what this statement was that, okay, money is a tool. It can take you wherever you want to go. However, it will never replace you as the driver. And so if laziness is your goal, you might want to reevaluate that goal. You might want to question that goal. Where did that come from? Is that really wise? Is laziness really something that is most conducive to you as a human being? Is it most conducive for the messaging that you actually give out to other human beings? Okay, if laziness is the goal, trust me, you will procrastinate getting started on trying to become financially independent. Because if laziness is the driver, laziness is in the seat. And now you're afraid that you might lose money. Now you can't figure out how to motivate yourself to do something. It's because you got the wrong goal. So I want to know, what is your goal? What is your plan with this tax refund? What is it? If you've already spent it, what did you spend it on? If you haven't already spent it, what is your plan to do with it? Because if you do not tell money where to go, it's going to get called by somebody else that's going to tell them where to put it. Do you understand? If you don't direct your money, okay, money's always looking for a place to go. And if you don't direct your money, then I promise you that money is going to be called out by somebody else telling your money where to go. It's going to go to what? Food. It's going to go to, terrible. Think about it, right? Come on, if you're like the average American, check this out, according to Time Magazine, 3 out of 4 Americans receive tax refunds after filing their taxes, averaging around $3,100 each. Whoa! Their tax refund, okay, the average, 3 out of 4 Americans, okay, average $3,100 for their tax refund. Okay, are you going to eat all that? Are you going to eat all that? Are you going to translate that $3,100 into food and eat it? What a waste. Ew. Think about that. What value are you going to put on your tax refund? Okay? What did you do last year with your tax refund? The year before? Did you use it for wisdom? Did you use it for planning ahead? Did you put it into an investment? Okay? This is like a savings account that's been sitting there for you all year. It's not I got lucky. It didn't fall out of the sky. It isn't a present or a gift. It's the IRS's version of creating a savings account for you that they made money on. So maybe you should make money on your tax return. I know. You're like, Dani, that is no fun. Oh, shush. You've had so much fun, you have lots of debt to prove it. We got to get you out of debt and teach you how to have fun in a different way. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success. Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your freedom, your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
The way you look at things is about to change. It's the Dani Johnson Show.
Dani, it's my money, and don't you dare try to tell me how to spend it. Then, turn off the show. And if you are where you want to be financially, then you're right. No one has a right to tell you what to do with your money. In fact, no one has a right to tell you what to do with your money no matter what. But if you're in debt, and if you are struggling financially and you do not have your future planned out and you're not storing things away for that rainy day, because I promise you there will be a rainy day, then my friend, you are forfeiting your rights because you are going to be in need again. So this is not Dani Johnson telling you how to spend your money, but if you want to become successful financially, you're going to have to learn from successful financial people. You can't learn from someone who is failing financially to get and to trust them to give you good advice for your future. This show is about your success. This show is about you defining success for you. And for me, personally, not living under financial pressure and not living under the burden and the slavery of debt, to me, is success. That's one portion of it. Okay, so we want to hear from you. We have Dawn Hill on the phone, Edmond, Oklahoma. Dawn, you got your tax refund? What you doing with it, girlfriend?
Well, I used part of it to come to LA and part of it to do a photo shoot for my business. And we made our first silver investment. And then we did catch up on bills. So used it to pay off debt.
Okay. So when you said come to LA, what are you talking about?
Come to First Steps to the event in LA last month.
So you used part of your tax refund to come to First Steps to Success. Why did you do that?
Absolutely. Mostly because in past years, I've not used it for anything, and we have eaten it and wasted it. And so having plugged into events prior, I knew that I would get training and encouragement and motivation out of the event. And so I knew that that was a wise choice for me and for our family, for me to come back with more tools to help us go further, because we're very, very close to being debt-free, and we're just really on that path to help build homes and do things for others now. And our mindset's kind of completely changed.
Right. Okay, so what changed your mindset? Because in the past you said you ate it. You would eat your tax return.
We did. We could go
That'd be some expensive food.
I know. And it was amazing because it would be you would get it, for instance, on a Monday, and we had probably 4 kids in the house at that time, but still by Friday we wouldn't know where it went. It would be several hundred, several thousand, whatever it was. We would run through it, either eating out, buying things we didn't really need, just being, I think, afraid it was going to leave, and so it did. more than anything else.
Wow.
Not telling it where to go.
Yes.
Watching it waste away.
Yes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
This time I knew if we were getting a refund, because we came out of a crazy season, we still needed to catch up. And so I'd already prayed about it, and God had already kind of shown me if we got it where it needed to go. And I wanted to be wise so that we can continue to grow rather than have to go back where we were before, which we kind of made a decision we're not going back there.
So you mean God did not tell you to buy to lease a brand new Lexus?
No, he sure didn't. He told me to drive my Ford Freestar that's paid off.
It cracks me up how people will come and they will say that, well, God told me to buy that Mercedes and to lease it. I'm like, I don't know what God told you to do that. But $75,000 worth of debt for a car is absolutely not wise. And the God I serve is a God of wisdom. I'm really proud of you that you have broken a cycle, Dawn. You and your husband have broken a cycle of continuous debt, continuously not knowing where the money is going, blowing it foolishly, and not having a plan. Now you have matured. You've learned some new skill sets. You have applied those skill sets, and you're almost debt free. That's exciting.
I know. It's so exciting. Our anniversary, 25th anniversary is in June, and that's the only debt we should have left after, or will have left after that, is his student loan. So by next year, by our 26th anniversary, we'll be able to be debt free.
How does that feel?
I'm completely amazing and freeing, and I just could jump through the roof. I mean, it's amazing.
How long did it take? How long did it take to pay off all this debt?
I started when I plugged in my very first steps was July of 2012.
Wow.
So it'll be a little over 3 years at that point, I guess, 3.5 years.
How much debt total
right now,
have you guys paid?
We paid off $73,000 right now.
My gosh.
Almost $74,000 this month. And by the time it's said and done, it'll be over $100,000.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My gosh. Your life has to feel so absolutely amazing. This is Dani Johnson. More financial advice. What will you be doing with that tax return right after this?
Helping you become all you were meant to be. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
I just heard this amazing story. One of our clients had written us telling us that they had used job domination and unlimited success and has absolutely exploded their career. He said, Dani, I don't know where I'd be today without job domination and unlimited success. Listen, do you want more recognition from your coworkers? Do you want to be recommended to people all over the world? Do you want to be somebody that is highly sought after? Listen, if you're in a dead-end place where this gentleman found himself, but then learned new strategies and changed everything in his work life, and obviously this has resulted in higher bonuses and pay raises, you're next. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Job Domination right now. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Job domination. That's what you need. It's time for you to dominate the job market and break through the rut that you're in.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was working 60 to 75 hours a week. I was completely stressed out. I was incredibly angry with my husband. We were in over $350,000 worth of debt. By applying the strategies that Dani teaches, in the last 3.5 years, we have paid off $170,000 in debt. We are no longer roommates, and we no longer spend every single cent that we make. We now have made tens of thousands of dollars in passive income in investments. We are on the right track. We're traveling around the world together, and we are building homes for those who really need it. So I don't know about you, but if you want to cut back from 60 to 20 and 30 hours a week, if you want to mend some relationships, if you want to make your life more efficient and a lot more fun, and you want to be the best version of you, I highly recommend that you get registered because your life is about to change.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, first steps to success in creating dynasty, my wife and I were really lost. We were struggling in a relationship. We were struggling financially, drowning in debt. Our relationship was really broken. We were in a bad place. We were living in two completely different states and not really honoring each other. Once we got plugged into the community, we noticed a shift in our lives. Most importantly, we came together as a husband and wife. That was the first thing we did. And when we finally came together under the same roof, things started to change. Over the past 3 years, we've been able to pay off over $495,000 in debt. I know my business, I've had a job created for me that increased my income by 50%. That has actually opened up the door to allow my wife and I to spend more time with each other. So I don't know where you are. I don't know if your relationship is super awesome. I don't know if your job is immaculate. I don't know if you're debt-free. But what I do know is if you're not any one of those things, your next step is to get plugged into DaniJohnson.com, go on the website, get plugged into the community. I promise you, your life will never be the same.
And prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was a broke college student, drowning in debt, and I felt like the world was crashing all around me, and I had bad relationships. Since plugging into DaniJohnson.com and First Steps to Success, I was able to pay off $6,600 in 4 months. Now I'm able to give 10% of my income to wherever my heart desires. I actually, using the skills that I learned from Dani, I actually landed a job before I graduated college. And I'm able to travel the world. All I know is if you're serious about annihilating your debt, traveling the world, helping people, and having fun doing so, I highly recommend you get registered for the next First Steps to Success. Do it now, don't wait, don't even thinking about it. If you're ready to change your life, just do it.
We went to our first ever First Steps to Success just 10 weeks ago, and it has definitely been life-changing ever since.
We felt like we got hit by a 2x4, but it was the best 2x4 because what we realized is that our priorities were clearly out of line. I had been building a home-based business and had been working 80 to 100 hours, and I realized that that is not my role, and that I had actually taken my husband's, and it was that realization that something had to change, and we immediately went home and changed everything. There was no hesitation. We said, you know what? We need to be obedient to God.
And we've implemented the tools day one. We started implementing what Dani taught us, invested in ourselves, invested in our kids, got our priorities in line. We've now actually paid off just not quite $60,000 in debt and looking at a couple more investments here as head of the household.
It's been absolutely incredible. So I just encourage you, if any of this speaks to you, if you're wanting to get out of debt, if you're wanting better communication, if you're wanting to elevate to the higher level of life, get to First Steps to Success and plug into DaniJohnson.com.
And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Dani, are you saying I can't go have some fun with my tax return? No, that is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is you're going to have to choose to be wise or foolish. And if you've been foolish in the past, you probably have a lot of debt. And you're like, well, I don't have that much debt. I remember asking somebody that was listening to the show, she called in and she says, we don't have that much debt. We only have like $200,000 worth of debt. I was like, and that's not that much debt? Oh my gosh. Regardless, if you are in debt, if you do not have money set aside for your future, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, then no, you're not going to go have fun with your tax return. You are going to put it towards debt. You're going to put it towards savings. Maybe you're going to split it 3 ways. Maybe it's going to go part to debt. Maybe it's part to savings, and maybe take, $25 and go out to eat if that's fun to you, or $25 and buy a new pair of shoes or something if that's fun to you. But you're certainly not going to take and blow your entire tax return on fun. Like I said, if you don't have money set aside for the future and you have debt, it means you had a little too much fun already. Now it's time to pay for the fun by becoming wise. Once you become financially independent, then go knock your socks off and have a blast. But until then, you got to make wise choices so you can kind of clean up the mess that all of us have gotten ourselves into throughout all of the years of our ignorance, as well as our lack of knowledge, lack of training that we had even growing up. No question. So we're talking about your tax return using for wise or foolish things. Joining me right now is Karen Curry from Alberta, Canada. Come on. What are you going to do with your tax return, Karen?
Well, this year, as opposed to previous years, I'm spending it on the more expensive brand of shoes for my kids. This year, I'm actually going to be wiping out my credit card. Completely and totally. I used my credit card last year to go to First Steps in Los Angeles in January.
Wow.
And that was a life-changing event for me.
I had gone to that event with so many fears, and I came back with so many fewer fears. I also want to purchase the Grooming the Next Generation for Success home workshop system, because I have a sapphire daughter that I just am not meeting eye to eye. I'm having a really difficult time with her, and she's completely out of control, and I just need guidance on that.
That's awesome.
And then the remainder of it is going to go to my student loans, and 10% is going to King's Ransom, and 10% is going into my savings.
Wow. Okay, let's look at this. First of all, I'm so proud of you. I love what you said. She goes, well, I'm not going to do what I did last year, which is buying very expensive shoes for my kids. So smart. Speaking of shoes for the kids, all right, you check this out. My son and I are in South Carolina visiting my oldest daughter, my son-in-law, and her 6 grandkids. And we're sitting there bowling. We take the kids bowling. And Mike and I both looked down at our shoes, the bowling shoes, and I said, these would just make the coolest shoes ever. Sure enough, he's like, I want a pair. I want to wear them like every day. And I'm looking at his shoes. His shoes are thrashed, okay? They're 2 years old. They are thrashed. We got them on clearance. They were less than $50. We got them in Denmark, okay? He wore these suckers out. Not only that, but his foot is growing again. A size 12. No. Anyway, $27 on Amazon.com to replace a 2-year-old pair of shoes. And come on. Bowling shoes is going to be really hard to wear those suckers out. I want to see how long they last. But I'm so proud of you that you're not going, okay, well, my kids need shoes and I have to buy expensive shoes. What is it with us parents that somehow we think that what the shoes that are on our kids' feet, that if they're expensive, somehow it makes us look like better parents? Isn't that stupid and jacked up?
Totally.
You know?
I work in a retail store, so I get discounts on things, and
Yep.
I buy... Their shoes are always off the clearance rack. My son's shoes last month, I got him new shoes last month. I think they cost me $15.
Nice.
My shoes cost me $5.
Nice.
And my daughter's shoes cost me $22.
Wow. Nice. Okay, so let's get back to this.
Clearance.
This is where I'm so proud of you, okay? So first of all, you're not doing what you did in the past. You came out to First Step Success in January. Thank God. What a great way to have started your year. And then to learn these financial things that, hold on a second, I don't need to be spending on expensive shoes for my kids. This is stupid. But instead, now you are conscious about annihilating your debt. You're now conscious about putting money away to savings. You are now conscious about taking care of the poor. You're a different person. And you are also conscious of identifying the problems that you have in your life. And I need to invest in my skill set to learn how to disarm those problems. And the one that you found was between you and your daughter, who has a very different personality than you do, and you need to learn how to communicate with her. Yeah, exactly. So you are that facts and figures kind of mom, black or white, clean and organized, and your daughter is like, her room looks like a tornado hit it. A class 5. And wait, that's after she cleaned it. Gosh. So anyway, I'm really proud of you because these are wise things you're doing with the money. A portion towards debt, a portion to taking care of the poor, a portion into educating yourself, learning a new skill to disarm the home of more stress. But we're gonna release the stress by learning good communication skills with your kids. So I'm excited. I can't wait to hear your story, Karen, on grooming the next generation for success. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. I can't imagine where my life would be today had I did not find those strategies that are in that home study course and that book, Grooming the Next Generation for Success. I would have been in a mental hospital. There's no question. 5 kids, all very dynamic personalities. Oh my gosh. 2 sapphires, two kids that are fun. Yeah, I would go crazy. I know I would have been in a mental hospital. There's no doubt about it, especially being a homeschooling mom. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what happens to your life as you embrace this book and this home study course. It's going to blow your mind. And because of the kind of personality you have, you're going to do it really well, really, really consistently. So I'm proud of you, Karen. Kudos. I want to hug your neck. I'm reaching over, hugging your neck. You're a wise mother who's being responsible financially. I love it. Okay, so we have Ashley Grice from Phoenix, Arizona. What are you doing with that tax refund? Ashley, did you mute yourself? It looks like Ashley may have muted herself. Okay, Ashley, you got to find the mute button. I'm going to move up to Becca. Becca Setfin from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing with the tax refund?
I am paying off debt.
Yes! I wish I had like this big cheering section right here, right now. Like, yeah! Can you hear it? The stadium is full. They're going, yes! You know, there's big banners with your name on it going, we love you. You're awesome. I'm so proud of you. What has brought you to make that decision?
I realized that I kept making the same financial mistakes over and over again. I'd get myself out, and I'd get right back in when I saw that I had, emergencies that weren't emergencies.
Wait, Becca. Tell me what the emergencies were. That blouse is calling my name, my first, middle, and last name. It's wooing me. This is an emergency. What were your emergencies? I used to have those kind of emergencies. I got chills, actually.
I knew my brakes were going, and so that's not something that's a surprise. Cars need brakes. I should have been allocating money to that. My child support didn't come in, and, she needed to go to a soccer, sign up for soccer. These are things that weren't a surprise. I could have put money aside myself, and they just kept going. I mean, heck, the sump pump went up. It's not a huge deal, but it's something that I didn't set aside money for. And it's not something that they teach you in school. So I had to reach out and I had to learn these tools so that I stopped making these same emergency mistakes.
This is awesome. Okay, hold on. I got to analyze this. I love what you're saying. Because isn't it funny? So you're telling me that you were that woman that was a victim of emergency circumstances.
All the time. And my credit cards were my comfort. I came from being very, very poor with a young daughter and no help from, the father, to being in a marriage where it was very supportive, but I still had that latch to my credit card, that comfort that it's okay, we'll just go do this because I have that Bank of America card and I have a great credit score. So let's have that, emergency fix. You need new tires, just put it on. We'll pay it off then, when you get that, bonus or whatever. And it creates a mess. And so now we have our savings, we have our emergency fund, and I honestly need to put my tax refund into the debt.
Yes.
No, we won't go on vacation, but I'm one step closer to making sure that we do get to go on really great vacations when the kids, remember.
Yes, I love you. I am so proud of you, Becca. I'm serious, man. I want to high five you. I want to give you a big bear hug. I want to kiss your cheeks. I'm serious, man. I want to make a big banner that says, I'm proud of you, Becca. I'm serious. I know I sound so stupid, but
I've listened to your First Steps to Success, and I've cried my eyes out. I've preached, and I'm just taking it all in, and I'm really glad to have this opportunity.
This is awesome. I'm proud of you, girl. This is Dani Johnson. What are you gonna do? Wise or foolish choices with that tax return? You just heard some good wisdom from this woman. Not me, her. We'll continue right after this.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
So I was born and raised in Ukraine. I moved here in 2001, very poor. All we had is $3,600, no English, nothing. We came here, Jewish service community paid for 6 months for our apartment. They gave us 6 months of food stamps. They paid for 6 months of our medical, and they said, go. So just because, and Andres will attest to that, we're very hungry in Ukraine and ex-Soviet Union countries. So when we see opportunity, we get really excited. And I saw opportunity in this wonderful country. So I opened my own business, and I became successful very fast, making between $20,000 to $30,000 every month. But the problem is that my character was not there yet. The wisdom of God was not there yet to support that type of income. So what we did with that money, like I was living paycheck to paycheck, being on welfare and being on food stamps, we were living paycheck to paycheck, now making $20,000 to $30,000 a month. I have my first truck that I could afford that I bought was Cadillac Escalade with 22-inch rims. Hey, free estimates, everybody. And I built a big house. It was a $750,000 house for my huge ego, and I was not ready for the season when it rains. So when one of my biggest clients was investigated by FBI because of his mortgage loans. All of a sudden, my business dipped, and I was stressed out, working so many hours, trying to keep up with all this debt that I acquired. It was $640,000 worth of debt that we acquired. Patrick Clunan, who's been part of this group for probably the past, 10 years, he formed me in the gym. He told me how huge I was, and I said, "I love you, man." And he told us about coming here. We were really, not trusty. That's how we are, Ukrainians. But I did come, not even realizing that I'm in debt, that this is really bad, because everybody around me, my pastor, everybody in church were all in debt. And I was my eyes were open. It was just incredible time of learning and realizing that I need to realign myself. And we have paid off $640,000 worth of debt in using War on Debt in 2 years. Not just using War on Debt, but being a part of a community that keeps us accountable. That's the key. There are a lot of good products out there. Somebody mentioned Dave Ramsey and this and that, but unless you guys know, being in all kinds of industries, unless there is somebody there holding your hand, keeping you accountable, it's very hard to get results. And that's what that War on Debt and this community did for us. We are debt-free as of June of 2013, and we have, after going through a teaching with Hans Johnson, Dani's husband, we acquired 11 rental properties. My sales went from $2 million a year to $3.5 million a year. And I'll just let my wife real quick tell you what happened with our family.
I would say that for myself and him, the number one thing above all the financial the knowledge that we gained here was when we did the GEMS course that you guys did this morning. And we didn't just do it once, we continued and continued to do it. It was such an eye-opener for our marriage. We came in with an okay and stable marriage. I don't know about you, but I don't know if I just want to settle for okay and stable. We were just kind of putting up with one another's differences. We just put up with one another, as good Christians do, right? And not realizing that we could, like, when I listened to his gems and the things about him, I no longer saw him as pushy or aggressive and overbearing. I began to see him as passionate and driven and hardworking and highly motivated. And he used to see me as kind of the unrealistic optimist, I guess, and in a little too optimistic for him. And then he began to see me as his encourager, as his bride who could think outside of the box and who could give him creative ideas. And so for us, it gave us a dynamic marriage where from okay and stable, we are now, I believe we can be unstoppable and do anything together. And though you have an opposite gem in your spouse, the neatest thing is you still have one vision. One vision. If you're united in Christ, you have one vision. And for us, our vision is the same. Our vision is building the kingdom of Christ. That's what we're called to do. We're called to be Christ's followers. And being okay and stable in our marriage was not good enough. It was not good enough. God says, I have more for you guys. And it has nothing really to do with the money. It's more what we can do with that money and how we've been able to help orphans and been bringing them into our homes to live with us, and then been able to find them adoptive families, and it's just, we've been able to have more fun. We've been able to travel more. We've been on the same page now, even though we're super opposite, and it's been such a great thing. So I just want to encourage you too, if you have a spouse that is not here and you are not on the same page yet with that spouse, know that I am praying for you. There's some specific ones of you that I've been praying for because I know it's in your heart to have your spouse on the same page. Just know that you just keep going. Don't quit. Keep loving them. Also, we've just been doing the grooming the next generation classes in our church, which is a great tool to expose all this if you have teams.
So please allow me to introduce my America's favorite millionaire and my personal mentor and coach, Dani Johnson.
This is The Dani Johnson Show.
What you choose to do today is going to determine whether or not you have success tomorrow. You realize that? You got a tax return hot in your hand? Is it right there? Is it super hot in your hand? And you're just like, ooh, that's how I used to be with that stupid tax return. Somehow I thought it was free money, just like I thought my credit cards were free money. Ugh, made some dumb choices. So hey, today, perfect time to be talking to you about this to help prevent you from doing something silly. Oh gosh, I am so proud of the faithful listeners to the Dani Johnson Show. Man, we have had some incredible input today and new great decisions that people have been making that have been wise instead of foolish. Okay, so we're going over to Ashley Grice, Phoenix, Arizona. What are you going to do with that tax return?
Pay off debt and tithe. Yes! It's not our money.
I'm serious. I want there to be a cheering session somewhere where people are just shouting, yes! You know what, Ashley? You're making my day. So many people make stupid choices. Now, what has brought you to this decision that you are going to pay off debt and you're going to give and help the poor with the money?
We have been so foolish in the past. We've done this a couple of times, actually, where we paid off the debt, but we didn't cancel the accounts and we didn't cut up the cards.
Yep.
So that's going to be, right, our big thing is we don't need the credit anymore because what was revealed to me was when I use credit cards, I'm telling God I don't trust him.
That's right. It's in plastic we trust, not in God we trust.
So,
you know, that's a little idol.
Cutting up cards, paying off that debt. We want to give more money to the church, and as long as I'm giving it to a bank, I can't give it to the church.
That's right. And you know, Ashley, were you one of those people that you say, oh, I wish I could give more? I wish, right?
Yes.
And then there you are doing what?
Giving it away to the wrong people.
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
To the tune of 18.9% was being given to the credit card companies, to the bank. At 18.9%, we're actually giving more to our creditors than we are giving to God. We're giving 18.9%, no problem. No problem at all. God only asked for 10%. And we're like, oh, I want to do more. I want to help the poor. I want to. And then, you know, I'm like, but I don't have the money. I don't have the money. Wow. Yeah. I'm so proud of you. And that you came to that place of, we're going to stop this. And by the way, Ashley, I want you to grab some scissors. Do you have any scissors where you're at?
If I go get scissors, you're going to hear my children, and that might not be a great thing for your listeners.
Oh, I want to hear your children. That was a good excuse. I would like for you to go get some scissors, and I'd like for you to grab your wallet, please. Okay?
All right.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'm gonna put you on hold. I'm gonna come back to you in a minute. You grab the scissors, grab the wallet. Okay? I'll be back in a minute with you. Okay, so we got Sarah Snyder from Madison, Wisconsin. Sarah, what are you going to do with that tax refund?
So in the past, we always spent it and
on what?
Used it to pay off credit cards. We were always like, okay, we can't wait to get that refund so that we could finally pay off debt. That was like the big payoff debt bill that would be coming in, and that was going to take care of all of our problems. And
but wait a second. You said that, and this was like every year?
The rest of the year.
Okay, but wait, Sarah, but this was like every year. So you spend the year going into debt to wait for the tax refund so you could pay it off.
Right. It was very exciting when that money would come in so that we could pay off that debt. But we didn't realize that we were in a pattern of accumulating it throughout the next 12 months. And so this year we paid off 2 credit cards completely.
Nice.
We have 1 credit card at a 0 interest left. And the rest of the money, we actually matched it with money that we've been saving up. And we're going away for a belated honeymoon getaway with me and my husband.
Nice, 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 nice. I'm so proud of you. And why are you able to go on this vacation, this honeymoon with your husband?
Because we saved and we planned
And
you didn't go further into debt last year.
We were diligent with the money when it came in. We didn't act like, okay, well, this is free money. Let me just put it in the bank. Like, as soon as it was deposited in our account, we transferred it out of the account so that it wasn't visible money to be spent.
Good job.
And we already told it where to go.
Yep. Amen. Amen. I'm so proud of you. But look, you paid off 2 credit cards last year instead of going further into debt last year. And that's why you have the money to go on this honeymoon with your husband.
Absolutely. And Dani, I have to thank you so much because it's because of your training that we learned how to divide our money up and be very wise with it. And we've cut up those cards that I used to have fear of cutting up those cards. And it's such a strength when you cut it up and you realize that they don't have power over you anymore.
Okay, hold on right there because I'm about to open. Oh, man, I lost her. Ashley, did you hear what Sarah just said?
Yes, I'm listening. I remember watching my mom and dad do this at the table.
You remembered them doing what?
Cutting up their cards. But they always open new accounts.
Okay,
that was my example growing up.
This is amazing, right? And that programmed you. First of all, they were in debt. Okay, so that programmed you for that. But I love that you had this picture with them. Okay, I'm gonna open up another line. So hold on one second because Sarah is gonna talk to you directly. Sarah, you're back. Thank you so much for calling back in. Okay, so if I know how to do this right, I hope I know how to do this. I'm gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna go like that. Yes, Sarah, are you there?
Yes.
And Ashley, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Sarah. Ashley has a pair of scissors in her hands right now. She also has her wallet. And she just confessed right before you came on the show, she just confessed that she is paying off debt this year with that tax refund because she realized that she's had a cycle of debt, going into debt every year. And so Ashley, Sarah, what should you encourage Ashley to do right now with those scissors and that wallet?
Ashley, I'm going to tell you that those credit cards are a burden in your wallet. And it's time to take away the power. You absolutely are going to feel so much freedom when you actually cut those up and throw them away and delete those cards out of your life. I just did it 2 months ago. I got rid of 2 credit cards, and the power that I felt had been returned back to me is just indescribable.
Ashley.
Okay.
What are you going to do, baby? Because remember, you said it. It's like you realize that every time you use that card, you are saying, God, I don't trust you.
Right.
And you could not.
Spending his money the wrong way.
Amen. And you want to give more to your church. But you're giving 18.9% to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Do it now, girl. Come on. I want to hear it. Put the scissors. Yes!
I don't know if you can hear that or not.
I heard it. Right on.
The lie that we are told is that we need this.
That's right.
For protection.
Yep. And it is a lie. Especially in the day and age that we live in today, because our debit cards have our Visa or MasterCard symbol on it, we can still use our debit cards for everything, right? Renting a car, renting a hotel room. There was a time where you had to have a credit card in order to rent a hotel room. Even then, I didn't have a credit card. I brought all cash and said, here you go. Here you go. I'm so proud of you, Ashley. You blow my mind, girl. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Straight talk, real answers. Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success. For families in Santa Pancha, Nicaragua, life is filled with fear and struggle. They don't have enough food for their kids, clean water is hard to find, and they're living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel on top of mining tunnels that could explode and sink at any moment. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming this village. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha to see how you can help. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org, and click on Santa Pancha.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
Did you hear that? That was the sound of Ashley cutting up her credit cards. I got to ask her one question. Ashley, how does that feel?
Like an act of obedience.
Yes.
It feels very good.
Yes. Yes. Do you know what follows obedience?
Blessings, usually.
Yes. Blessings follow obedience. Delayed obedience is no obedience at all.
Yep.
Delayed obedience is no obedience. But what you just did is you took advantage of that moment in time to obey. And you just took the shackles off of your hands, off of your feet, and most importantly, off of your family. You just took the shackles off of the kids. I am so, so proud of you. I know Sarah is proud of you. Sarah, I'm bringing you back on. What do you say to Ashley right now?
Ashley, I think it's amazing that you just did that, and I am so excited for you. You just have no idea what this is going to do, and I can tell you from experience that when you actually do put your trust in the Lord, He takes care of the things that you're afraid of that make you hold on to that credit card because what if the car breaks down? What if something happens? And I finally looked at what if and said, no, you get to die because my God will provide my needs.
Amen.
And He will take care of me.
Amen. Amen. Sarah, I'm so proud of you. Man, this is exciting. Okay, so look, we've had a lot of awesome conversation today, have we not? There's a few things that have come up, right? One of which is paying off debt. I don't know if you have this gift or not, but I'd love to give you a copy. It's free. Call my office right now. It's First Steps to Wealth. There's 2 chapters on here about annihilating your debt and finding money that is actually hiding out in your house, hiding out at the grocery store, money that is available to you where you can annihilate your debt to the tune of paying all of it off in the next 5 to 7 years and never living under that burden again. First Steps to Wealth. It's free. You call the office, 866-760-8255. Again, that's 866-760-8255. Ask for Nellie or Nate, and they will be happy to serve you. They'll get you the ebook immediately. It's all the same contents. It's an ebook. They can get that delivered to your email box right now. Or if you want the physical copy, you like to highlight dog ear, write notes in the margin like I do, then you want the physical copy. You pay the shipping to get the book to your house. I'll be happy to stick the $15 book in the mail for you. Okay, so call the office now, 866-760-8255, and also ask them about First Steps to Success. Ask either one of them, whoever you're going to talk to, ask them to tell you about that. Because you've heard actually a lot of stories today of people who are graduates from First Steps to Success who have become successful in their finances because of that training. You heard several stories today on today's program. Lastly, you also heard about taking care of the poor. If you do not know of a place that you feel like you can trust that is really doing the work of taking care of the poor, kingsransom.org. Again, go to kingsransom.org. Click on Santa Pancha, Nicaragua, and help to build people homes. Costs very little to do so. All right, kingsransom.org. Go now. Do what you can. That's one great place to do it. This is Dani Johnson. Thanks so much for joining us today. We know that you totally enjoyed it. And today you're going to make wise choices instead of foolish ones. God bless. Talk to you tomorrow.
Did you hear that last segment? Do you know someone else who needs to hear it? Go to DaniJohnson.com, find today's show, and share it online. This has been the Dani Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.